enjoyed your lunch, and that it was a short break. Copenhagen is back as well. Yes, very good. So we shall continue, and just in perhaps connecting to the presentation by Diana earlier, we are going to have on Moodle a discussion forum on PBL-specific questions. And so throughout the AdjunktPædagogikum, there may be questions that arise or that you would like to discuss in a bigger forum. So please post them on Moodle, and we can then all come in and contribute. So you're all very much welcome to also put forward an answer, but we will also ask other people to comment. So keep this in mind. So I'm going to spend the next hour with the plan for this coming year. After today, you are going to join different workshops, and I will discuss how we've organized that. You will also start working with your supervisors and with your peers. And all that together, combined with work on the portfolio, will be really where you will engage in active learning around your pedagogical development. I want to share a few quick thoughts. This is really about achieving excellence in your teaching. The thing is that universities worldwide have become much more aware that teaching is not an add-on, but something that is highly significant for the quality of the work that we are producing. So not only are you required to produce excellence in your research, but you're also required or encouraged to be excellent in your teaching. And this means that we have intellectually curious students and dedicated faculty members who where this engagement between those two groups becomes a matter of mutual learning. If you are interested in your students' learning and your own teaching, you learn as much in this process as your students do. Different perspectives. So if you, for instance, what Diana said, regard your students not as empty vessels that you have to fill with new knowledge, but you also see them as sources of new insights and people who come with their own experiences and rich input that they can contribute, you also gain a lot in your own in terms of your own learning. So how? So this is about really developing a teaching research community, a professional community. So a word on scholarship, because this is about scholarship. Scholarship, as you know from your own research, is really creative intellectual work. It is more than just the ability to memorize facts and theories and apply them, but also be innovative with those ideas. And that really requires to take our students further, because, and I mentioned this, I believe, in the first introduction to this course, that these days there is so much information out there. Anyone can find textbooks and resources. So the main thing about the teacher's role is to make meaningful connections, to encourage students to think further, or to, so what if, and ask those sort of questions. scholarship is validated by peers. We all know that. So our own work only counts if our peers critique it, remind us where we may be missing things, and or also encourage us and validate what we have put forward. It's added to our intellectual history. So that means that working in a scholarly way means that you also document what you are producing. It's not just hearsay, not just talk. And it is also valued by those for whom it was intended. So the thing is that any sort of scholarship needs to have this echo response at the end, that those who are receiving the fruit of your scholarship also value what you have produced. And so this is also the case when it comes to your teaching excellence. I want to, there are of course many people who have worked and produced insightful research. I want to mention this person here, Lee Schulman. He talked about, he wrote, an intelligent act is scholarly when it becomes public, when it's critically reviewed and evaluated by one's community, and one's community begins to use, build upon, and develop it. So I'm pretty sure that you will agree with those sentiments. Lee Schulman is, when it comes to educational research, a very important scholar. He worked or developed some of his main ideas in the 1980s, and the reason why I wanted to mention him is because in a sense he has there is some similarity on how university teaching has developed. I will go one step back. I personally think if you want to experience the most innovative, the most inspiring teaching, go to a preschool or to a kindergarten, because there teachers are trained to work with young people who have very obvious limitations. They cannot, they don't know much, they have trouble talking about it, they sometimes can't write, so there are lots of different things that make it difficult to teach things just verbally. So when you go into those very early learning environments, you see how innovative, how creative teachers need to be to address the various learning needs that students have. And I truly encourage you, if you've got children, nephews, nieces, do take them to their schools and see what they do. Lee Schulman noticed in the 1980s, and he is from the United States, that most of the teaching preparation was focusing on content. So teachers were trained to be discipline experts, very knowledgeable in their area, but there was not much emphasis put on pedagogy or teaching. And when this was done, it was often done in a very separate way. So general sort of pedagogical theories and so on. And he said that in order for teaching to really matter, you have to bring those two together. And he coined a term that is known as pedagogical content knowledge. And it means that a teacher is really knowledge about that you apply in a classroom, in any sort of teaching situation, is at the combination of what you know about the content, the needs about the content, and specifics about the content, and also what you know about pedagogy, but in the context of the learning situation. And that means that you have to consider who your learner is. the students, what they bring with it. What is the environment we are teaching in? Are we in a classroom? Are we in a small group? Are we online? Are we face-to-face? All these different aspects. So he described this area of pedagogical content knowledge, and it has created a lot of interest. So there are these days many people who have used this model and have developed it further, made it more refined and all that. But I think it is quite a useful way to think about how also university teaching has developed from highly competent experts in a discipline to also think about what it means to teach this discipline to learners that they are faced with. And this is what we are trying to work on together. So it's really about creating and working on scholarly teaching. And scholarly teaching is a matter of working in a very similar way as you do in your research as well. It means that you use and work with the existing literature, with expertise that has been produced, that you try out and experiment with these theories, that you document your own experiences with these theories, how they apply in your context, in your setting, and that you publish and that you write about it. So this is a cycle that you need to keep in mind. So it is not, teaching is not meant to be a byproduct, something we have to do, but more and more it is a matter of taking it critically serious in higher education, and this is picked up by university administrations throughout, wherever you go. So it is something that needs to be taken very seriously. So in order for us to achieve this, we will be using the following 4 processes. We are going to, or we've organized you into peer groups. And so what we will ask you to do is then make contact and work with your peers. We have assigned you to 2 supervisors, and you will be working with them. We have organized workshops, and you will have to work on the portfolio. So those are the 4 main parts here. So here's also your way to work with theory, try out ideas, reflect on it, document it, and as an additional step, and I will talk about this later on, is also the possibility to actually write in a scholarly way and publish your experiences as a university teacher. So first of all, I want to mention the peer groups. We have organized you into peer groups. I've got them here on paper. You will have them also on Moodle shortly. I was just informed that they are not, the list is not yet on Moodle, but this is because we are still waiting for confirmation of a few departmental supervisors, but for most of you, the supervisors are organized. All the pedagogical supervisors are assigned. So what you need to do is you need to contact your supervisors. And I suggest to you that you will do that as soon as possible in order to organize meetings. And the meetings that you need to organize with them is you have to work with diaries and people's availability. You need to see if you want to meet as a group where you have the pedagogical supervisor plus the department supervisor together. I would think that this would be an ideal scenario where the team comes together, but sometimes it's easier for calendar issues to have these meetings also separate. So we have to leave this up to you to organize to suit your convenience. So when we organize the peer groups, we have kept in mind the disciplines that you are working within. We also try to keep in mind the locations where you are, and also personal wishes. Some of you have contacted us to ask if you could be here or there. And so what I need to ask you is to double check the peer groups to see if there are any issues in terms of for example, if you have been paired up with by accident with someone with a peer group that is in Copenhagen and you are located in Aalborg. So if there's anything that doesn't work for you, then please let us know. But other than that, I would like to ask you to contact your peer groups, start organizing possibilities to get together. You can do this face-to-face, you can do this online, you can talk via Skype. I mean, you can be as creative in this process as you wish, but the idea is that you spend some time talking with your colleagues about the experiences, some ideas, things that you want to try out, things that you have read. You just want to have a supportive group of like-minded people who are in the same situation, and it gives you also an opportunity to share information that, for example, someone is doing a workshop that you haven't done. They may be able to tell you about it, share some of their resources. And so this can be a very enriching experience. So yes, so I would like to ask you to let us know if there are any changes that we should consider. And other than that, please get in touch with your peers. Then, as I mentioned, the supervisors, we have assigned you to the department and the pedagogical supervisor. Please check the list on Moodle or here. We ask you to contact the supervisors for those few that are highlighted on this list that have no departmental supervisor. We will tell those supervisors to contact you as soon as they have confirmed. When you have made contact, you need to discuss with the supervisors when you want to schedule the meetings. So you can have as many meetings as you like with your supervisors, but they are being instructed that they have to do a number of classroom observations or observations of your teaching. Specifically, the department supervisor, who is the discipline expert, should do observations 3 to 4 times per semester. And the pedagogical supervisor is assigned to do 2 observations per semester. Because people are busy, and because you also have, you all know the teaching, the issue sometimes with your teaching commitments and all that, they are often happening at the beginning of the semester or are more upfront. So you really quickly need to organize times where people can come and observe you. Typically what happens, and what you should keep in mind with your supervisor, is that you have a meeting before an observation and after. It can be, you can Again, this is something that you negotiate with your supervisors. Quite often, supervisors will have the follow-up meeting straight after the supervision, but this is not the case all the time. And the classroom observation can be taken in the biggest sense. Oh yeah, there's a question. Or not?
Yeah. Yeah, hi. Again, it's me, Chiara, from Plan. I'm just wondering, because I was assigned only one supervisor, and I was not told that there was 2 supervisors before, and there is nothing in Moodle. So how do we get? We couldn't find it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, but how should we be assigned the department and the pedagogicum, and what is the difference in practice? A part of the difference in time, number of times that they need to observe us. So how many? What are the differences, and how do we identify them? Because that's the very new information.
Yeah. In essence, that's just what I discussed. So the thing is that what we have now is for almost everyone, we have the 2 supervisors. We are just waiting for the confirmation of a few more supervisors, and that may be the case for you. And in that case, where you know your pedagogical supervisor, because I know all pedagogical supervisors have been assigned. If you don't know your departmental supervisor, then we will ask those who haven't confirmed yet to contact you. But all those who are on this list, you can contact now. So for almost all of you, you will have both of your supervisors now assigned. If there are any problems or any questions, you can contact me directly and write to me, and I will figure out if there are any problems. Again, the requirement is, just a second, the requirement is that the pedagogical supervisor has to observe you twice per semester, and the department supervisor has to observe you 3 to 4 times. And then have follow-up or pre-talks. There was another question? Yes? Yeah?
I'm Anna, also from Plan. I wanted to know if the so-called classroom observations also include supervision observations.
Yes.
Because, I'm not going to be teaching very much in the spring, hopefully more in the autumn, but I will be supervising, so could some of those observations be supervision?
Yes. Thank you for that question. The thing is that the observations can happen in classroom situations, so where you're teaching a class like today, me. It can also be an observation of group supervision, or maybe also a individual, let's say you have a PhD supervision also, but you should have at least one whole classroom supervision opportunity in the whole year that you spend here. So if you, for example, in one semester only do group supervision, then that's where the observation will take place, but then perhaps in the other semester you will have an opportunity to teach also, where you get some other observation possibilities. And the reason for that is that we will try and we encourage you and the supervisors to give you feedback on as many different teaching situations as possible. You can also ask your supervisor to come and observe you doing a group exam or an examination. And that can be very insightful. If you do that, you have to inform the students and ask if they are okay with it. Although examinations are public events, so in theory anyone can come and join, so there shouldn't be any problem. And of course, an observing supervisor will not ask any questions. The students, I mean. Yes, another question?
I already contacted with my supervisors. And if, like me, happens such that one of the supervisor, whether department or the other pedagogical supervisor, might end their contract soon and they're not sure about the extension of the contract. And if they're in a situation and if they raise questions, what should I do?
You will contact me and I will organize some continuing supervision. Yep.
Is it okay if the department, the supervision and pedagogical coincide and be in the same?
Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, it's very insightful because different people see different things. So I would say you can usually expect that the departmental supervisor will comment on things that are very specific to the content and her knowledge about how to deal with challenges that are specific to the discipline and all that, whereas the pedagogical supervisor will look at big picture things on, feedback, but it really depends on the situation. But yes, you can have both in the same class. Yep. And another question from Copenhagen.
Hi, I'm just curious to know if there's any documentation required of us for these supervision meetings.
The thing is that the documentation will be in your portfolio. In the portfolio you will, and I will talk about that later on, you will have an opportunity to talk about goals that you want to set for what you want the supervisors to give you feedback on, and you can reflect on that, what you perhaps have changed or how you respond to that sort of feedback. So, yeah. So the thing is that when you have made contact with your supervisors and meet them for the first time, please make sure that you discuss the terms of how you will work together, how you will communicate, the way of how feedback is given and all that. As I said, you have to write your portfolio. The portfolio is an evolving document. You can send your portfolio at any time to your supervisor for feedback, to give you some additional thoughts, ideas and things like that. So all that should be discussed in your first meeting with the supervisors.
We have one more for COVID.
Yeah?
I still have a doubt regarding the department supervisor because I'm now so fond of this and everything, but I can see that, for example, I was assigned a department supervisor that is not from my department, but is from the department of the course I'm teaching on. Is this correct? Because I'm borrowed in a course as a coordinator and teacher that is not in my department, but is on my field. So it's a part of a larger education. So my point is probably I should get feedbacks from my own department, professor from my department, instead of a professor from the department of the course I'm teaching. So I just would like to understand the logics behind it so that I know if the choice for me is good or not.
I think in that case you can, the easiest way is if you contact again me directly and I will have a look. The thing is that the department supervisors are assigned by your head of department. So of course it depends also a little bit on availability, who is there, who is the most appropriate person to support you. Sometimes people work also across different departments and are knowledgeable and all that. So, we have some general guidelines how we do this, but sometimes we know that a person is very experienced and can also give, work perhaps with a different group. So, but if you have specific questions, please send me an email.
Yeah, thanks.
We have one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can send you a separate email too, but just one thing. So the first time we have a meeting with our supervisor, do we have some kind of a template or a checklist what supervisor want to do and what is expected from us, and over the period of 1 year we fulfill everything?
No, you don't have a checklist as such, but I can certainly put some key points on Moodle for you, things that you should not forget to discuss with your supervisors, but your supervisors are also briefed about what they have to make sure they do, what their responsibilities are. I also encourage you, if there are any problems, and problems may occur simply because sometimes people have challenges to pair their calendars. People go to conferences and so forth, and suddenly there's a problem in terms of doing observations also. Then contact us, and we will try and find a solution for those situations. For instance, you can if you have a challenge for your supervisor to do an observation because they are busy themselves, but this is perhaps your only time where you're doing a classroom teaching, you can video record your teaching and give that to your supervisor to watch. So it's very simple to organize and an easy way to share and deal with it. So we have over the years dealt with a number of challenges, so I'm hopeful that we can give you some ideas on how to deal with issues. But I will take this suggestion up, and we'll put up some checklists, some things to remember when you have your first meeting. And I'll do that over the next 2-3 days on Moodle under the folder for supervision. So then the workshops. So as you know, as part of the AdjunktPædagogikum, you have attended the first meeting, this meeting today, and then from here on, you have to attend 3 workshops. You also have an option to attend, and this is new, we've just decided that you can also do 2 workshops, and instead of the 3rd workshop, if you so wish to do that, you can also write an article about a teaching innovation, something that you have tried out, that you think you can share with an audience out there, and you have to submit your submitted article as evidence of that. But you can do that instead of doing 3 workshops. If you want to publish something that you are working on or have tried out, then and you don't know where to publish that because many of you are working in your discipline areas that may not have something to do with the educational sides of your discipline area. Talk to your supervisors. They may know. In particular, the pedagogical supervisor will be knowledgeable of a number of academic journals where you can publish this type of work. So that may be a very nice way also to work in a scholarly way on your own teaching. And this is also because in acknowledgement that many of you are coming with existing experiences. You may have done previously some pedagogical training or some things before, so we do not assume that you come without knowledge in this field, and so you enter the AdjunktPædagogikum also at different levels, so you can take it to the level that is appropriate for you and for your needs. So you have to, so coming back, so you have to attend after today those 3 workshops or 2 workshops plus another meeting at the end of the AdjunktPædagogikum where we will talk about also how to move on from where you are then have then arrived. So Then you also need to produce the teaching portfolio, and I will talk about that after the next break in more detail. Please, if you miss a workshop, you have to contact us. It is a requirement that you do these workshops, but you may be ill, or there may be some unforeseen circumstances that prevent you from attending the workshops. Then please let us know. All workshops are organized as 2 half-days, afternoons, always on a Wednesday, in order to work with the supposedly teaching-free afternoon that we should have. This, but I realize that this is not everywhere the case, but we hope that this will work for most of you. And you should also have support from your department to accommodate that if you are teaching, or if you were to teach on those days, to perhaps have some support to either move dates or perhaps have someone else teach it. So two Wednesday afternoons, and in between those Wednesday afternoons there will be some online activity. So the workshop organizers will then interact with you most likely on Moodle, and have some online work for you to do. And this will differ from workshop to workshop. So I'm just going to quickly have a look at the workshops. And let me just... It's a little bit bigger. So the thing is, what we have done is you remember that we asked you to send us your wishes, your preferences for various workshops. We have looked at what workshops were in high demand and in which semesters they were preferred. Obviously, this is not now going to work for everyone perfectly, but we hope that you have enough selection. All 9 workshops are going to be offered. The 9th workshop was particularly asked for. This was the workshop on enhancing feedback and facilitating student reflections in groups. So this workshop is offered twice in the spring, so once in the spring and once in the autumn. And there's yes, of course I can. Let's see. Okay, how's that? And we will post it. You on here. You will see that actually the first one is still missing. I was waiting for the dates to come in by midday, but the person who is organizing the workshop is in a meeting himself, and he must have been occupied also. So, but within the next day or two, we'll have this last date confirmed, and then we will open enrollments again on Moodle for you to then sign up for those workshops. So you can then pick from the spring and from the autumn what you would like to do. You've got the dates. And we also have workshops, not quite as many, offered in Copenhagen. And so, but you can also see how this works with your own commitment. Sometimes you may be in Copenhagen where you can also join workshops there. So there's a bit of a balance between those. But we tried to give you enough opportunity to pick from the selection that we have. You may remember that all the workshops, workshop organizers, they have prepared slides. Yeah. What we will do is we will ask the organizers to furnish their descriptions of the workshops, and what they also will do is they will, once we have enrolled, they will look at the makeup of the groups and see, you know, also where you're from, which faculties you're from, in order to also align a little bit the needs and or perhaps some of the focus that they are going to put on. So the thing is that there are, of course, all of those workshops are sort of situated in the teaching environment of AAU. So, of course, they are planned and will be conducted with PBL in mind, but not all workshops will have this at their core to discuss. But as you can see from the topics, there are other main issues that are being discussed. There are, for example, the workshop 8, which is the PBL and ICT workshop, that has a very particular focus on how to get those two aspects together. This is really, in order to accommodate your own challenges with your own teaching or research commitments and all that. So we try and give you as much flexibility as possible within this framework, and so you can do 3 in 1 semester, no problem. The thing is that we will, of course, ask all workshop organizers to share relevant material beforehand, and they will also post things afterwards. But you see, it's also not just a one-off, but you have these 2 half days, and in between online activities, so there will be some ongoing engagement. Yeah. And a question here?
3 questions, actually.
Hi, I'm Kiaragan, and I would like to know whether it's possible to have a proper, or I mean actually any, description of the content and the type of expectation we should have from each of the workshops, because it was already very difficult to choose which one to prioritize when we were asked to, because we didn't have any descriptions about a few bullet points. So it would be very important to have a proper description before us to be able to choose what is more appropriate for us.
Yes, all organizers will be asked to prepare descriptions of what their courses will be about.
Furthermore, is it possible for us to attend, for us in Copenhagen to attend a workshop in Aalborg? Or do we have to attend them all in Copenhagen?
No, you can attend in whichever location is going to be the most suitable for you.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, I have a question regarding the workshops where there are currently blanks and no dates provided. So how soon can we get to know about those dates?
So no plan. Yeah, that's the same question. I will ask, apart from the information that is currently available on Moodle, I'm going to ask the organizers to put out more information.
Just to follow, I think it's because the document on the workshops in Moodle doesn't have all the dates now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed there were more dates on your yeah.
So there's all the fixed dates.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, okay.
Look, yeah, just about this document here, because like I said just now, I was still waiting for some dates to come in as of today. We haven't posted it yet because we still had to wait for that. We also had to make sure that we don't have any overlap. So it is a big ask to balance all these different calendar issues. So we will post dates and all that over the next few days. Was there another question in Copenhagen?
No, that's it.
Okay. Good. You, of course, if there are any more specific questions, we will in the workshops in the workshop area on Moodle. You can contact the organizers directly, and you can also always contact me if there are any specific questions, and I will try and find out and get back to you. I think what we will do is. The thing is that there is a lot of variety of different options, topics and things that we can discuss and that we can do in these workshops, and so we have to. At some stage we have to make a decision on what we are going to offer, and what from our experiences also are some of the topics that many people need to cover. So the thing is that we are going to look at if we can offer more additional workshops. We're still evaluating that. That has a little bit to do with availability of teachers and all that. But we will inform you about that in due time. And then it's probably, I can't yet say about the date, but especially about the basic sort of general pedagogical theories and all that, we were discussing that, but haven't yet made a decision. That's why we haven't posted it. What we have done in the meantime is we have started literature review and resources for you on a variety of topics, and we're going to upload this very soon as well. And so in there you have a number of different fields and or topics that could be of relevance to you, and we have deliberately looked for Danish and English resources, so we've got a little bit of variety, and there is also a short summary or some indication of what these resources are about and where they can be useful. So we are trying to support you in a number of different ways. Are there, for now, any more questions about the workshops? No. Or was there in Copenhagen another question? No. Good. So that leaves me now to, we will now have a short break. I would say maybe 10 minutes, and then we will continue with the portfolio.